Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. And I just wanted to make an announcement. Maybe this video will be a signifier for me to look back on in a couple months or a year or whatever. So today, I signed up for personal training, and I guess I'm doing a video about that because I feel like it. I've been, and this warning, this is going to contain a little bit of sort of political commentary about what's going on. Sorry to say. And I know I've said that I'm going to avoid any talk about this stuff, but it's going to be a little tiny bit in this video, within this video. So I joined a gym today. I mean, I've been part of this gym, but I signed up for personal training for, I think, 6 sessions. Maybe it's 9 sessions. And I've had some training before, but from my old roommate, but I never remained consistent with it. So I'm doing this because I honestly, like, I want to get in shape and just look better and feel better about myself and stuff. And it's just something I've decided to do. And I'm already wiped out from the first session. I mean, I've gone inconsistently to that in Kung Fu class for years. Now, the unfortunate thing about Kung Fu class is that basically it's on Zoom and one-on-one sessions now because of the guess what? Because of guess what? Of course, stuff I talk about in other videos. But somehow, the gym, well, you got to wear a mask, but even that, even that is, well, not always wear a mask. So I actually went by the girl that was like doing the beginning training. Oh shit, this camera's shaking a little bit. Sorry about that. The girl that actually was giving my assessment, and I'll just say that masks are not always, people are attacking Nancy Pelosi, understandably, for the hypocrisy. I'm done with, see, this whole thing, like, in a way, like all the hypocrisy that's come about with all these Democratic governors and mayors and stuff, like they'll go get a haircut and not wear a mask, or get jewelry when there's a lockdown, all this shit. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with worrying about what BuzzFeed thinks about me because I won't wear a mask 24 hours a day if I'm outside, or I'll hang out with friends when I'm not supposed to. Even though they talk about social bubbles and all that. I've talked about it then in other videos. And I'm just done. I'm going to try to live my life normally as much as I can at this point. I mean, I'm not going to go into like huge crowds of people, but, even then, I was downtown, a week ago, walking with my friend. People were doing some bad stuff. Oh my God, let's shame them. They're terrible people. They're sociopaths. Oh my God, I'm a sociopath because I want to live my life normally. Well, okay. So anyways, I'm going to live my life as normal as I can at this point. People might shame me and, do all this stuff, but, that's one of the things I do. I want to improve myself. There's no reason I can't do this. It's legally open, like the gym. First of all, the gym is legally open. I have to wear a mask, but not always, because she told me I could remove. It was fucked up because, like, I've never actually worked out with a mask on like that hardcore. I've gone on the glide machine a couple weeks ago with a mask on, but it was kind of fucked up. I felt a little nauseous. I didn't really eat very well and drink a lot of water before, so it was kind of bad. But they tell you can take it off for a little bit. I even drank from the water fountain. Oh my God, the faux pas that I was not supposed to do. She's like, "Oh, go use the water fountain." It says don't use water fountain. She told me that these people are breaking their own rules. I'm not going to say what gym it is because I don't want to, expose too much about that. I just think, it's kind of a philosophical thing. We were talking about the stuff too, and she's like, I'm so over this. Like, I've heard this numerous times. I'm so over this. That's why I think the majority of people that have common sense, that are intelligent, that aren't fucking freaking the fuck out, are over it. over it. That's what Burks was talking about the other day, about people just don't have any patience for something that they have a 99% chance of surviving from. She actually said these words, by the way. And I'm not discounting or downplaying anybody that died or anything. I'm just saying that's what she said. Confuse people even more with these statements. So, like, on that note, I mean, I believe they should have town halls. The medical experts should have town halls with citizens, Zoom or whatever. Zoom, fine, I'll be on Zoom, okay, or Google, whatever, but they should have town halls. And they should do that like once or twice a week, each one of them, because people are confused. That's just the way it goes. But are they going to do that? Probably not. Anyways, so I digress. That's where I said I was. Actually, it's more like this that I talked about. So, going back to the gym, and my whole thing is that I've never gone full bore into fitness, or obviously I've never gone full bore into fitness, and my thoughts are that if I can get to a certain level, and I certainly don't have a lack of skill. This is not only for the opposite sex, but I don't have a lack of skill as far as the opposite sex, I don't think. But I think, like, the types that I attract sometimes aren't up to where I imagine myself to be all the time. Not all the time, but like my ex, I definitely think there was an equitability. It was more equitable than, most of the dates, the women I've, had dates with, or whatever. So that's a whole different story. Maybe I'll tell it on this channel. I don't know. Might be interesting, because that saga is so weird and fucked up and crazy. But so the whole thing with regards to going full bore into fitness and in the gym is that, I'm not getting any younger. And it's partially even related to some of the virus stuff. I mean, my mom told me that she watches the news, which I think I told her to stop, because it's going to ruin your life if you watch it in a certain way. She does watch the news, though, and she says everybody that's younger that gets the virus is huge. That she sees. That she says, oh, most of them are like giant. I mean, bigger than me. I mean, I'm not more than 250 pounds. I'll just say that. And I'm about 6 foot tall. So I'm not super on the high chain of obesity, but it still makes me think about that, when I hear that. And I just want to get, I don't know. I see myself, when I see myself in, like, as a rock star, when I record my music, or when I think about when I get back on stage for whatever, I don't see this fat dude. I see, like, a guy with, well, first of all, I need more tattoos too, but I see a guy with actually some awesome lean muscle mass that's the envy of others. That actually is one of my affirmations. So, as ridiculous as it sounds, maybe it took a long time to get the affirmation to reality, or it will, but that is one of my affirmations. But, it's one of those things that I think it gives me something to focus on, because this fucking bullshit that's going on, regardless of what side you're on, or whatever you believe, whether you're stuck in your house since March, or you're, like this girl that works at the fitness place I go to, you're just over it. Whatever side you're on, it's frustrating to try to live your life normally. I'm going to live my life as normal as I can within this context of doing this stuff, and that's the way it goes. Some people may not like that idea, but I mean, I want to do that, but I want to do something. I want to go an extra mile. So that's why I'm doing the personal training. I'm like, well, I may as well use this as an opportunity to really push the limits on my life, because this whole year has been shit. There's, I talked about my breakup, months back. There was other stuff too that happened in between that or a little bit later, that I'm not going to share on this channel, but completely fucked up that happened to me. I found some revelations. I found out about some things that I really not talking about my parents either. I'm talking about something else entirely that really fucked me up. So I think it's time to kick ass. You know, I think it's time to take those reins and live a path of glory, as one of my songs goes. I think that's what the lyric. I can't remember all my lyrics. I write a lot of songs. Be the teller of your own. Be the teller of your story. Take the reins and be the teller of your story. Let the legends be true. You know, there's a whole other story. I wrote that because of this weird thing that happened to me, or I was inspired to write that song because of this weird thing that happened to me back in the day. So yeah, I think by getting trained, needing some personal training, and really going at it like hardcore, like going 3 or 4 times a week, and getting nutrition done too. You know, I don't think I look bad, you know, try to look bad, but I don't think I look absolutely awful. But I think that I could do a lot better, honestly. So I think I could get to some type of weight and muscle mass that would make me happy, because I'd be able to, you know, be more confident. Something that I worked on hardcore. So I work on music all the time. I'm releasing a new maxi single in the next week or two, as soon as I finish this sort of synth wavy song that I'm doing for it. But it's like you know, I try to do these songs and do all this stuff, and working at home kind of sucks because I don't know. It's just there's a lot of shitty parts of my life, but I think having something to shoot for is a good idea, especially right now. And I recommend that everybody follow this. Like, they have something else extra that they add in their life. You know, right now is the perfect time. And there's a lot of articles about that. You know, I hate the fucking media right now, so I'm gonna just be like making fun of them. But right now is the perfect time to really focus on something else other than, you know, this bullshit. Because there's a lot of bullshit going on, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of fucked up weird shit we don't know about. It's scary. And not only is are the social, I'm going to go a little, this is going to sound a little weird, but not only is the social implications of what's going on is scary, but the virus itself is kind of scary too. Maybe not, it shouldn't be as scary to certain people, but it is scary. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. There's so much different information, conflicting information. We don't know what the fuck's going on. Just like with the death projections that are coming out now, like 400,000 people by January 1st are going to be dead. Oh. You know, the same people that said that by August 1st, 60,000 people would be dead. So are they just hedging their bets because they lowballed the estimate before? I don't know. It's scary shit, though. It's all this fear, panic, and paranoia. Some warranted. You know, I watch Z-Dog's channel still, even though I'm trying to take a break from all that stuff. And he talks about catastrophizing stuff, and he thinks that people are doing that with this, even though there is a threat. He's a doctor, you know. He was even on Young Turks and shit. People that are totally catastrophizing this whole thing, by the way, and politicizing it. And, you know, Trump politicized it originally, so the left, establishment neoliberal corporatist left, but that is, they're politicizing it as well. So everybody politicizes the virus. That's something that should stop now. It's just fucking ridiculous. But one of the things that I did for myself also, so this is kind of, I guess this is turning into a video about like what I'm doing in my life to jump out of this this dimension, this universe, you know, of bullshit that I'm in since January 26th of this year. Why January 26th? Because that's when I got dumped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's when the shit started. You know, all this shit started in my life. There's a lot of astrology that says all this shit started around that time too. I don't know what the fuck to take that, you know, how to take that. But yeah, one thing is physical fitness, just killing it, you know, just fucking kicking ass completely. Another thing is learning. You know, I want to get the fuck out of my current occupation, and maybe the way to do that is by, you know, doing an Amazon store or doing eBay and doing my dating website that my friend wanted me to, you know, help with for so long. Not that I would use it because it's the niche. I don't agree with using that as a niche, but I'm not going to say it's not a bad thing. I'm just not going to go there. So stuff like that, you know, we're doing YouTube videos, a shit ton of them, you know, trying to really push the limits and push the limits with a lot of this woo stuff I'm into. So there's a lot of people that probably look down on the woo element in my life, and then they can't take me seriously because they think I'm just too into woo, WOO. You know, it's like, fuck off. That's all I gotta say. You know, I've seen a lot of weird shit. I don't know how to control this weird shit. I don't know if it's real completely, but I've seen a lot of weird stuff that I cannot explain. So discounting the woo, just dismissing it as just some coincidence, or it's just some new age crap, you know, whatever, man. I mean, that's your fucking problem. You know, a lot of these people that are dismiss the woo are also really paranoid about what's going on right now. Like they won't fucking, you know, whatever. But I'm not gonna go bash certain people too much. But they, you know, it's something you gotta think about. Like if you have, I'm gonna be doing more videos about this stuff as well. If you have seen things in your life that you cannot explain, and maybe you can't, you know, maybe someone could explain it, right? Someone could explain it, or they could try to explain it. Well, that's too many coincidences, though. You know, you go back and you're like, that's too coincidental. That can't be truth. You know, I'll use an example, and this is going to be a weird example for me to use, but let's say you're a guy, you're hetero, and the girl's hetero or woman, and she, um, it's like the universe is doing this. I'm just going to tell you what the universe is doing. The universe is like this woman that is showing this interest in you. She's saying hi to you a lot. Um, she wears a shirt one day that you of a band you like, and she hardly wears this shirt at all. But just in this period of time, this window of time, she wears it. And then you bump into her somewhere. Could you say, oh well, and then there's one other thing. You have a dream about her, and then the next day, you see her wearing the same exact outfit and saying this weird sentence that was in the dream that seemed like, wait, whoa, that's weird. You know, if all these 4 or 5 things happen, you could call it coincidence, right? That's fine. You could say, oh, it's just a coincidence. But it's like, no. People want to call it coincidence, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. It could be. You can't prove it scientifically. Oh, what's just the random odds of her saying this sentence that you dreamt about the previous night and wearing this outfit, or, well, who knows? Well, I don't know. People will flounder in their fucking explanation of it. That's what I have a problem with the anti-woo people, you know, the anti people that want to dismiss all that stuff, or giving their atheist, secular, materialist uh, mindset. You know, I think it's just as bad as religion. It's just as dogmatic as religious as the woo, as the woo itself. It's, you know, there's a lot of weird woo shit there. You know, I remember this Dr. Wayne Dyer book that said supposedly he touched a CD. It was a rap, like a gangster rap CD, and he like got burned in his hands or something because of the negative vibes. I'm like, come on, that's fucking stupid. I don't believe that story. I don't know if it was Dr. Wayne Dyer. Maybe he was talking about someone else that said this to him. I can't remember. And I like Dr. Wayne Dyer. That's the funny thing. But yeah, just you know, you can go too far into these beliefs. But I'm going to be doing more videos about that too. And I'm taking a deep dive into the woo at the same time as I'm trying to get my physical health and fitness together, because that's all I had early this year was watching these videos, you know, all these different videos. Because when I got dumped, it was really devastating, and people might question why I was so devastated, because I was like, you know, the relationship was not ideal, and certain things with that relationship were not ideal, and certain things that I might have said or done were kind of weird. But I don't know why it hit me so hard. I can't really explain it, but it did hit me really, really fucking hard. It did, but and it got me launched. You know, got the ship launched though. You know, she broke the fucking bottle on the ship to christen it to launch. So I mean, I think that's really, and that's why I'm going into the physical fitness realm too, because like I want to make sure that I don't feel that same way again. That disempowered. That I'm trying to think of the word. That lost, because when that happened to me, it was like dying. Like I really felt like I was dying. I don't know, you know, Owen Cook. I hate to quote Owen Cook. Talks about certain types of breakups that will make you feel that way with certain types of women. He says borderline personality disorder women for some reason. I don't know. I don't think my ex had borderline personality disorder at all, but I'm just saying like certain situations trigger us in different ways. You know, why could I, you know, years back, why could I have a casual relationship with someone else and then just kind of fizzle it out and not care as much? But with this particular woman, why did I get all wrapped up in her stuff? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It just it's weird. But yeah, that's part of the issue, not problem. Part of the circumstances that are launching a lot of these ideas that I've had in the last few months, or you know, last 4 or 5 months, where I've tried to like really go deeply dive into different stuff, and I'm just kind of sick of it. What else are you going to do all day? You can't go to a bar, you know. Well, you can, but you have to wear a mask and be in your whatever table, and it's like, oh, that's lame, dude. You know. And but even though there's a lot of people that are not following those guidelines. I was downtown in my town, and people were not always doing that. But anyways, it's lame, you know, a lot of these mandates and stuff. So what are you going to do? Well, you could deep dive into the inner world here, you know, because a lot of the woo, new age, whatever stuff says your inner world is more important than the outer world. You know, like Neville Goddard says, it's like that's the world of Caesar. You know, the outside world. You can't take that as seriously, and then everything is you pushed out anyway. So you get this shit together, you'll be in fucking heaven on earth, hopefully. And that's my goal. Yeah, I do want to get to that point. You know, with all my inner stuff and all this fucked up shit that's going on in the world right now. You know, and I'm done though. You know, I'm done with feeling guilty about things that I do, trying to live a normal life in this time. You know, it's not like I'm like putting people at gunpoint and bringing them to my house to have them not wear a mask and me not wear a mask in my house or something. It's not like that. It's just people don't, you know, I hang out with people that don't follow the guidelines all the time, you know. And I don't think a lot of people aren't doing that. I mean, there was an article that came out. I'm sick of reading these articles. It's getting so ridiculous. Just every other day, it's like some different opinion. Someone has their opinion. Well, we can't like expect like young people to like do all this stuff. We just got to tell them that they should do this. It's better for, you know. It's all fucking chaos. It was actually that was exactly what I was thinking in my head when I was reading that article. It's like, well, at least they're a little softer on the young people about choosing to live their lives normally, but it's still very condescending and patronizing. Like, oh, those young people are doing these bad things and they're making it worse because the cases are going up. It's like, well, we got to look at deaths, hospitalizations, and long-term effects. I use that quotation because Zabin Damania actually, I would watch some of his recent videos, Z-Dog, MD. He talks about the lawn haulers thing. He has questions about it. He's questioned it. And I never thought about this before. I read all these, seen all these articles. Now it's becoming a virus video. Shit. I've seen all these, I saw a few of his videos. I've seen some of these opinions about the lawn haulers and stuff. And I'm not saying the lawn haulers don't exist, but There was something to do with those, was it NBA or NFL guys that had the heart thing or whatever, and then it was like discredited, like because I think like certain viruses cause that temporarily already. I can't. I think that's what it was, and then they were like the media was spinning it as, oh my god, it's this long-term effect of the C virus. Oh, and it's something that happens normally with viruses like that, I guess. I don't know. I would have to read it again, but that's one example of media bias with regards to this stuff. It's like everything is bad. Oh my god, it's so terrible. The sky is falling. But yeah. So I mean, in regards to the virus and my fears of it, in a certain way, I am going to the gym because partially part of me is still a little scared of it, but like it's not scared. It's more like, well, I don't want to get it, and if I probably already had it, but and the story goes with that because I never sold it. I don't know if I've told the story in the video. Is that I was sick in January, and I forgot that I had actually taken vacation days in January because that was part of my memory is fuzzy about the time. It was a really weird time. It was like 2 weeks before I got dumped, by the way. And I had this really weird cough, and I also had was out of breath a lot, and I told some relatives that I could not breathe very well, and I had a fever, and it just kept persisting for like 5 or 6 days, and I took off a bunch of times, so it was over that whole week, and then I was still sick the next week, not as bad, and there was just some weird stuff with that, and it was like I've had flus before and all sorts of stuff, but this one was particularly like too long to be like a regular flu. Like it just kept going, and that was one of the things that I tell people, and they think I had the virus. I don't know if it's true or not. I never got an antibody test. I said I was going to get one, but I decided I'm not going to get tested unless I really have to. I'm not going to. I know people that have had the sniffles and they go in and get tested and shit. It's like, no, I'm not gonna. I have allergies anyway, so I know it's not fucking the virus. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Like I said, I believe in rapid tests coming to be prominent. If they're going to do anything, if we're going to listen to that side, that should be something that we should all agree on. I think maybe instead of wasting our time with lockdowns and fighting over masks, why not just get these rapid tests out there? That's my opinion. It's fucking ridiculous. But the case-demic thing is pretty true sometimes. Like, you hear, oh my god, all this people now have the virus. Okay, did they go to the hospital? Did they die? No, but they got the virus. It's like, ugh, it's gonna be around, okay? It's gonna be here. It's endemic, probably. More and more people are saying that. Even the fucking Atlantic said that. The Atlantic, who's been actually not too bad for a mainstream publication about it, because they've had some questions about the stuff that's going on with all this, which actually didn't surprise me because I always liked the Atlantic more than some of these other liberal publications because they've always been a little more like, well, what's going on with this though? Like they've always had that. Like they were totally like. They're not totally establishment like the New York Times or CNN and shit. So they're not like they have a little bit of rebelliousness in there. So I think they even are saying like it's going to be here. We're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to just deal with it. So when you see these articles and these not that article but these other articles about the cases blah 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 zero C virus. That's people. I'm not going to say the word because I don't. Zero. When they say that, they're just fucking beating a dead horse. It's not gonna work. Or I mean, I could theoretically, but it's not gonna happen. Even in Sweden, still have cases. Only about 5 people a day die from it in Sweden now, which is way less than it was, or 3 people, or sometimes it's. I don't even know if sometimes it's less than that. But still, it's like. And there's a 6% thing coming out. Okay, so my opinion about that is that uh, my opinion about that is that that's stuff I've been talking about for a long time. But there were some explanations given that I actually do understand now about a lot of the stuff with regards to comorbidities, that a lot of these are caused by the virus, and that's what they're counting in the death certificate and stuff. And this, I would recommend this John Campbell video where he talks about that. So, still though, the majority of people, yeah, even most people that are honest will say most people that die have comorbidities that are really bad. And that's why I'm gonna fucking work my ass off to not be obese anymore. I mean, that's one of the reasons, because I don't want to be part of that fucking thing, even though I might have already had it, and the media is so fucking ridiculous. So, and it's gonna get worse. I mean, with the media and stuff, but people are tired of this. I talk to people. I see people online. I talk to people, even strangers now, like at the gym. It's like people are tired of all this stuff. They don't know what to do. It's like, are we supposed to just wait till whatever? It's like, oh, it's so fucking ridiculous. But I'm gonna live my life. That's my choice. My body, my choice. And if you don't like that, fuck you. I mean, I'm not gonna wear a mask outside. Maybe in a big crowd. Maybe. I'm not gonna get a vaccine unless it's tested and vetted. I don't think I really need one necessarily. And I'm gonna ignore more and more. And I'm trying to wean myself off of it, all the media stuff about it, because it's endless cycle of nonsense that goes back and forth over and over again. It's just like the whole story with what's her name from Big Bang Theory. What the fuck is her name? Kaylee Coco Cuckoo, whatever her name is, from Big Bang Theory. She was shamed on Instagram or Twitter for wearing a mask working out. I don't know if she was I think she was at a gym though. I mean, and then she responded. It's like, that's fucked up. Just don't shame people. Don't shame. I'd say don't shame people that want to do that. If they want to do that, that's their choice. And don't shame people that are like, just because they're walking outside without a mask for 5 minutes or whatever. It's fucking so ridiculous. It makes people not want to wear a mask when people are just shaming them, and just you see Nancy Pelosi not wearing a mask. As much as that was kind of overinflated of the whole thing, the fact of the matter is, she was going to a hair salon during a lockdown. Somewhat of a lockdown. I'm pretty sure it was pretty stringent about a lot of stuff. One, and two, she wasn't wearing a mask during half her visit there. Probably, she let her hair. Oh, I was just having my hair dry. She's like Marie Antoinette of modern times. To get her the fuck out of that Congress, she's a horrible person for being such a fucking hypocrite for that shit. And I'm done. That was the last straw for me. Honestly, the Nancy Pelosi thing. Well, I understand. She should have just said that. She just should have come out straight and said, "Yeah, I'm not going to wear a mask all the time. There wasn't anybody in the room with me." She was just like blaming the salon owner or whatever, whoever. This is like, I was set up. No, it's bullshit. So I'm done. I'm going to live my life normally to whatever extent I can. And I'm not going to follow the mandates about me being required to not see friends or whatever. There's no real mandate about not seeing friends, but they say, no one's not members of your household. You're supposed to social distance and wear a mask in their house. Nobody I know is fucking doing that. Well, there's certain Rufus McDoofuses that I do know that are sort of went in that direction a little bit more recently. I got fucking pissed, but I'm not going to say who that is, because so they never watch my videos anyway, so who gives a fuck? I'm gonna fucking do it, So, what the fuck happened there? I'm not drunk, I promise. So that is my conclusion is that I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna try to get in shape. And at the end of this month, I'm gonna try to actually put in some monads for my band. So I've been working on these songs for so many years now. I think I need to find members of do a live band, especially once this whole thing blows over, which I think it will. Which it will. Believe me, it will. As soon as Trump is out of the White House, that's what they're planning on, getting into the pandemic. No, that's not true, of course. But I think I said this in a previous video. My nephew said, well, it may not be that if Biden won, that the pandemic would be over. But this is actually a pretty intelligent comment. There would probably be less coverage, which would go to the background a little more. That's probably what would happen. And I believe that. I buy it. You know, some of these things are true, but they're not as extreme as people say. Like, there is some truth to that of them using this as a thing against Trump. It's a truth. And I don't like Trump. He plays both sides, you know. He hired Birx and Fauci for his, you know, for the team, you know. He hired them. But then he plays it, you know, like he hates Fauci or whatever. It's like this game he plays. He's Machiavellian. He's a lot smarter than people think. I'll just say that. I watched some stuff where you'll watch him in front of a rally crowd. He says really dumb shit, but he's like times it like a stand-up comedian, you know. And then you'll see him with like some more literate people from Fox or something be interviewed, and he's using like 25-cent words and shit. It's like, I thought he was a moron. No, he's not. He knows what he's doing. It's not good, you know. That he's a con artist. So Biden is a fucking, I don't know what's going on. I watch some of these clips of his gaffes. I'm just like, you know. And I watched some videos about him not being demented and stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. You'll watch that and you'll be like, oh, he's making a good point. And then you watch something else, that actual footage, and you're like, what the fuck? So, but I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen, so I don't have that problem of choosing between the lesser of two evils. And I don't like her I don't like her completely either. But it's kind of a protest, and it's kind of a protest vote / I'm angry with my side of the aisle right now for being such hypocrites and assholes about stuff and not having any nuance. I'm so pissed. That's part of the reason why I'm voting for the Libertarian, you know. And I'll probably try to find more Libertarian candidates locally. And, oh, I don't know if I want to say this, but I almost want to. I'm not going to vote for Trump by any means, but certain Republicans, yeah, you know, maybe, you know, just to make a statement against what's all this bullshit. I'm just so sick of it. My city didn't accept economic help to help businesses down in our downtown area. They accepted some of the money, but then there's all this stuff, all this fucking PC shit. But we gotta do, fuck you, you know. You're not gonna accept money to rebuild businesses that people worked their fucking lives to build, and then you want to lock down businesses at the same time. Well, fuck you. Maybe I'll just vote for Republican this time. Maybe I'll just vote for the Republicans and make Wisconsin a fucking red state. How would you like that, motherfucker? So, yeah, I'm not happy with that. So, I'm probably still going to vote for some left-leaning people, like Green Party people especially, but like, I don't know, I'm tempted to vote for some Republicans this time just because I'm so pissed. And I don't like the Republicans, believe me. I think they're still worse in some respects, you know. Less insidious, you know, less hypocritical sometimes. Of course, there's a lot of, I mean, not evangelicals, I don't mean them, but like evangelicals are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, okay? A lot of them, like with Jerry Falwell Jr. and all that. But I promised I would never talk about political stuff in my videos again. Oh my God, until after the election. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Oops. But yeah, I get my shit together, get a live band for my projects together, my project, do more music. I'm moving in about 2 months to an apartment of my own where I'm not in my friend's attic anymore, and he won't have to worry about me, whatever, you know. And trying to get my life together, you know, that's one thing. I'm gonna do a shit ton more videos too. I'm not gonna stop doing videos. Got a lot more planned in the next few weeks, in fact, because I think it's good to just get your thoughts out there. I don't know what'll ever become of this channel, but I just want to definitely go more into it as I have this past year. I mean, look at the past 4 or 5 months. There's probably been more content that are sometimes in 4 or 5 years on this channel, and that'll continue probably because I like doing this. I'd love to do it as a career if I ever got my shit together with it completely, or found a niche or whatever. If I do, I'd love to do it as a career. I mean, I do get paid to do reviews and stuff from Fiverr and interviews and stuff sometimes. So I do that and I am getting paid for it, but I'm usually, some of these gigs I don't even accept because like sometimes there's a band that has some kind of music or style of music. I'm like, that doesn't really fit the format, and I couldn't do a good job at that. But I'm totally impartial with these reviews. It's not payola. I just get paid, and I've done some, bash some bands too, sort of. I'm just like, they could do better in this and stuff. I try to look for the good side too. I mean, I guess that's still kind of biased, but I usually look for the good side in all bands and music, and I'll just give pointers and I think things that could be better with a band or a project. So, and that's one thing I do with Fiverr and writing reviews and stuff. And I'll continue to do that. Could that be a career move for me? I don't think that's going to support me. Right now, I have like over like the last 2 or 3 years, I've made about $500 or $600 from it or something. Really nothing. Still, and it all goes into Fiverr because I hire session musicians or do graphics or whatever. So that's the whole thing with that. But I did do a podcast, but I haven't done an episode in probably 3 months or more. And I don't know if I'm going to keep that going either because that's running out of steam for me to do a podcast. I'm doing these YouTube videos are just like, that's what I prefer to do, the podcast. I would love to do, I mean, if I found someone else to do the podcast with, I probably would do it. And I may just cancel my Spreaker subscription just because I don't think, I don't think I'm being consistent enough with the podcast. And I would like to, but if someone else wanted to do it, I would definitely do it. If someone else wanted to co-host something with me like that would be great. So YouTube will continue, and it's free to post videos, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, because I'm moving in 2 months, and my rent is going to be essentially doubled. Plus, I'll have to pay for electric and internet. So, well, basically doubled plus $50 if you want to count all that stuff together. That's a lot, and my financial situation isn't the best. I'll be honest. Like I'm completely irresponsible with money. I'm ridiculous with money. Maybe that'll be a new affirmation for me. I am great with money. Yeah. Maybe. Whoa. I'm not drunk, I promise. So, but I think I will get drunk maybe, or drink some beers or something. But just rambling about this stuff. So, yeah. So that's the whole thing. I'm gonna get personal training for 6 weeks or whatever it is. Try to get everything together with that. Try to get back into dating despite some of the hurdles that have recently been placed in front of me for various reasons. I'm not going to, or just various things that are going on in my life that aren't the greatest with regards to all that. And that's the way it goes. But just keeping a positive attitude, is hard nowadays. You see all this bad news and shit. And keeping the media fast, too. Not going to Facebook until November 4th. That's what. And I have 2 plans for 2 different posts. So one is I'm back, and it'll have like one of those fake stories about I told you so. Biden was a terrible candidate. You know, I'll have like these fake. There's like these apps where you can do these fake headlines, and one will be either about Biden winning or Trump winning. He's like, "I told you so that Trump would win." You know, it would be like my name, and then and the other one would be, uh, now the left will be asleep for 4 to 8 years, because that's what happens when a Democrat's elected. Oh, drone strikes. Oh, go ahead. You're liberal anyway. Just bomb Iraq. I don't care. I love Obama. You know. So that's the way it's gonna go. That's the way I'm gonna fucking do things. I'm not gonna go back on Facebook before November 4th because going on there is a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. I haven't been on there for probably a month, and I went on there just like to check my messenger messages because I uninstalled it from my phone so I can't look. And I was like, oh my god, Trump this, Biden that, virus stuff, blah blah blah. Like, oh man, all my friends. I mean, I'm throwing my friends under the bus, but it's just like get a fucking handle on this shit. You know, I'm not one to talk, but it was a nightmare. It was like going to hell, like being on Facebook for a minute. So after the election, I will just start posting stuff, songs, funny shit, you know, all the stuff I used to post, other than the political stuff, because I'm just like, and that's the whole thing. It's revving up with this election. That's why I quit Facebook. I might try to get a app installed on my phone to like block news stuff, and I'm not sure about that yet, but I might do that because I'm sick of seeing this shit. I have a lot of Yahoo. I have a lot of Yahoo emails, so it's like I get on there and I hate what Yahoo's done with their whole platform, because now they banned comments on their stories. Like, oh my god, this big tech shit is, some of their stuff is just so ridiculous what they're doing. So, and it's not like the comments were that pleasant to read through, but sometimes there would be something that you found out about, like some article written about something else that contradicted the article on Yahoo, and you're like, whoa, they're making this shit up, or you know, there's a bias here. Oh wait, I didn't know about that. You know, there used to be a lot of stuff on there. So that's one of the things I thought about doing, is getting into alt tech, as they call it, because like I don't know if I do a video site or a news. You know, I do have a news site that I've tried to do, or sort of a blog site called Viral Awesome. You can look it up. It's not Awesome Viral. It's the other. That's not the name. It's the other way around. But it's kind of failed in the last couple. I might even like sell the domain name, because it's not going anywhere. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's, you know, just kind of dead ends for me in life right now, with, you know, like my podcasts and, you know, some of my blogs. My metal blog, Metal Warriors Metal Madness, is actually still doing okay, because I like get people requesting interviews or reviews, you know, so doing okay with that. But as far as some of those other stuff, it's just not cooking the way it should. And this channel could be better too, you know, but it's not as hard work to blab to a camera for 48 minutes and 36 seconds. You know, it's not too much work. So, and I like doing it, so I'm just going to continue to do it. I don't like writing. I mean, I love writing, but I hate it too, because it's like so frustrating to sit there and write. I'd just rather blab than write, or, you know. So that's why YouTube will continue, but some of my blog stuff might not continue, or my podcast stuff, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see what happens, but I have to cut down, you know, paying all these different internet providers all this money, because I'm going to be pretty pinched for money moving out. Hopefully not as much as I think, but it's a pain in the ass. So we'll have to see what happens, though, the next few months. But one thing I should mention is that it's weird how I'm moving in November, and I envision myself. I tried to get some other apartments before, but I'm like, you know, I really want to move in November. Guess what happened? I'm moving in November. So it's that manifestation. Oh my God. You know, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. And there's other things that will happen probably in the next 2 months as well, that I could foresee happening as well. But I'm not going to go into that too much here. But Anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbing and get my music video posted that I just did for a song. If you want to visit my music site, it's MataWarrior777. You can look it up on YouTube, and it has all my music. I just did a song that I started writing in February after my breakup called, and this is the chodiest fucking title and terribly beta bullshit, like stuff that I like want to like distance myself from, distance myself from some of these ideas because I'm like a little bit embarrassed, but it's called One More Chance. But I wrote it, I wrote it because like when I got, back in February when I'd just been dumped, I wrote these lyrics and I'm just like, I wrote the conclusion of this. It's actually a trilogy, okay? There's a trilogy of songs that I wrote about this relationship and about this girl and stuff. Sort of, the third one's sort of less inspired by her and just about kind of a more ideal outcome. It's kind of a story. It's kind of a concept album. It's in a way, it's 3 songs that are part of this concept about this relationship and like this outcome that's really positive, because it's just like it's a weird like dramatic kind of rock opera kind of thing. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's actually, I call it my Aor Trilogy because really inspired by Aor in the last 5 years or so, and I don't know what got me into that. I was getting more into hair metal and stuff like I wasn't into as a kid, but and Aor and stuff like some of these obscure bands like Fortune and like Dare, which is a band that has the former keyboardist of Thin Lizzy, the later lineup Thin Lizzy, of course, and bands like that, like these really obscure AOR bands that came out in the early mid '80s and stuff, and I just like got really inspired by that stuff, and even Foreigner. I'm gonna admit it. Last year was the year of Foreigner for me. I listened to Foreigner all the fucking time. Like, it reminds me of something, but I'm not gonna mention that here. It was weird, but I used to listen to it. Like when I went to visit my ex, I put on Foreigner every time I went to visit her. It was weird. It was just this weird thing I got into. And I got into that band because of Supernatural, I'll just be honest. Probably because of Supernatural. I used to hear them on the radio and stuff like, I always liked I Want to Know What Love Is and a couple other songs, but I was like, But something happened, something clicked, and I just got super into them. I used to listen to Feels Like the first time driving down to see my ex-girlfriend, and a lot of these bands. So I do like some Journey, but Journey is a mixed bag to me compared to some of the other bands. Boston is the fucking first AOR band, in my opinion. Jefferson Starship, I love a lot of their stuff. So I got into all these bands like the last 5 years. So I've written a few songs that are more in that realm than the regular metal that I write. And it's still metal, but it just has that influence. And Beast in Black, that's the one that really lit that fire, because that band, I just love that band. Those 2 albums are so fucking just, and the thing about Beast in Black was that it's something I shouldn't like, because slick production, totally formulaic in a certain way. It's totally a lot of factors that I would normally like rebel against in some ways, but they're so over the top, so intensely over the top, and just blatantly catchy that they shattered that wall. And I probably would like some bands like this, but some of these European bands, newer power metal bands, I don't like because they just plain to say they're boring. But Beast in Black has this AOR, even synth pop influence that's so interesting and unique to me. It's not, I don't know if it's unique, but like it's just so intensely, like I'm gonna say commercial, but like commercial if it were 30 years ago, of course, not commercial for now, but just this intense thing. And I loved those, especially From Hell with Love. That was like the album of the year for me last year. And people bash me. You know, some of my Facebook metal friends are like, "You like that band? Oh my god, I don't like them." It's like whatever, dude. I mean, it's just like they just did it for me, and normally like that would be a band that I wouldn't I mean, some of those elements in a different band wouldn't work for me because like just some of the modern production of power metal and some of the bands that are coming out, I'm not as keen on. That's singer too, though. That singer of Beast in Black is fucking nuts. Like that has this range, like this. He sounds like a woman, and he sounds like a demon, and he's like he has all this huge range. And I know Battle Beast is like the forebearer of Beast in Black. I'm not as into Battle Beast. I'm gonna try to listen to them more, especially the ones with the guitarists that left and formed Beast in Black. But that Beast in Black is amazing and got me into like this idea of these cheesy ass AOR songs, which are this AOR trilogy that I'm talking about, which is based on experiences with my ex and maybe even another girl or two too in some ways. It's kind of a concept trilogy, and it's cheesy as hell. And the second song that I did, first one is called "Time Will Tell If Our Love Is Gonna Last," and that one was written. The riffs were originally written in like 2015 because I had a Boss Rockman, so I was trying to go more 80s. And then I bought a Galen Kruger more recently, but that one, the riffs were written back then, and then I wrote more riffs a little later, and even more riffs last year. And then I first started writing the lyrics last year in this relationship. In like July, I started writing these lyrics and having these ideas for the chorus and stuff. So I was definitely inspired by this woman. And then I recorded it early this year, and I sent it to her because I thought, oh my god, no, of course not. I don't believe that. You know, that's not gonna happen. I'm not fucking in Dan Hill's story about sometimes when we touch, you know, he's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna get the girl back with your fucking song. You know, it's stupid. But it was already in the can anyways. But then I did this other song in February, and I was like, why am I writing this horribly cheesy ass fucking beta song? It's called One More Chance. And it's ridiculous, but I love the song. I just like, I'm proud of it because it was like just like all this really cheesy pop rock AOR metal stuff that I try to write. It's like I'm on the best. And the vocal performance, which is by this guy Dives Artigas from Venezuela, some of the best vocals he's done for any of my stuff. And the drums are great. The drums, Glenn Wellman, they're both on Fiverr, by the way, and I put that in my one of my descriptions. Amazing music performance on their end. You know, I'm not the best producer yet, but I try my best, you know, and I'm trying to do better with that. But I think the song is really good, and I feel it. You know, I do feel the song. Do I believe the ideas of the song as I did in February? I don't know, but it's a great song. You know, I wrote most of it more recently because it was just like, I think I had the chorus and then I had like the beginning lines of the lyrics done, and then I wrote the riffs. Ooh, when did I write the riffs? I already had this thing in my head for the verses though, and that was really the magical part of the song because like in February, I had this thing in my head, and I forgot it, the riffs and I didn't have the chord progressions, but somehow it just came out of me, and I don't even know where it comes from. But it's crazy. But the song is great. I love it. One of the best songs I've done. It's on Mad Warrior 777 on YouTube. And it's going to be a maxi single because I'm going to do, you know, I did one more version of Time Will Tell If Our Love Is Going to Last. And there's not going to be the trilogy is not going to be complete on this single, but I figured I'd have some B-sides. And there's a synthwave song I'm working on too. And because I have a video that I released that's kind of synthwavy, and then there's going to be the cover that's very synthwavy too. And, you know, I want to have an actual synthwave because that's the style of music I've been listening to more and more. Not all the time, but you know, that's one of the newer things that I've liked. So that's kind of what that direction is going in. But then I'm going to finish the album that I'm working on for my project, which has only one of those songs, which is Time Will Tell. Will probably be on there, not One More Chance, but that's just kind of a separate song that I'm releasing. I'm trying to do like what they did in the 60s and 70s a little bit more, like with having like non-album singles. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's kind of cool. You know, you have this song that's not on the album, but it's like a separate release. You know, it's like the Rolling Stone, or they're on certain countries releases only. Like the Rolling Stones did that a lot. You know, the Beatles and stuff. So I like that. I like that concept. So that's why I'm doing that One More Chance as a separate thing. Even though it's going to have one song that's going to be on my upcoming album as a B-side, but and then the synthwave song, which is going to not be on the upcoming album, and One More Chance is not going to be on the upcoming album. And I could put One More Chance on the album, but you know, I decided not to. One fucking ostensibly love song or whatever you want to call it is enough. And there's another song on there that's sort of in that vein, but is more based on a dream I had and this comic book. Actually, it's this arc of this comic book back in the day that I was inspired by. Which when it comes out, I'll talk about what it is. But like, it's actually, well, yeah, it's about the Swamp Thing comic with Alan Moore a little bit, but and a dream I had. It's kind of in between the two. You know, it's like Steve Harris when he wrote Number of the Beast. It's like, is it about the Omen 3 or is it about or 2 or is it about a dream he had? It was a little bit of both, right? So that's about all. You know, I rambled on for an hour now and had too much caffeine, so I'm going to ramble even more probably. But I'm going to go and stay free.